No matter your age that you are centering yourself, there are some hard truths that you need to face. And before I officially have Sandra begin sharing her story, I'd like to frame this further by reiterating what I have said many, many times is that there is a price to pay to live the life of your dreams. There is a price to pay to live an extraordinary life. There are going to be hard truths to tell, hard decisions to make that Sandra is getting ready to share with us, and I'm so thankful for that. And that is something that you need to remember, that there is no like, let me try to find an easier way, a back door, a shortcut. You're going to break down the same way Sandra broke down, the way so many women break down, the way I have broken down. And it is part of your rite of passage of becoming a woman who is truly being led by your true desires. So without further ado, thank you so much, Sandra, for being here. And first of all, tell us what it was like for you just getting here today and your experience with video.
Oh, let's see. Um, Complete chaos. I had a breakdown again right before. I reached out to you, as you know, and I said, "Hey, I'm super nervous about, sharing my story." But, after speaking with you, thank you so much. You really helped me to understand how my story is important to a lot of women, and having to make those hard choices and choosing yourself is not easy. Um, so, with that being said, yesterday morning, I woke up and I was feeling really good. I had been having trouble sleeping. So, I felt really good because I slept well the night before and it was peaceful and quiet. And I said, I wish I could do this every day. I wish I had the space to do this every day. And I can't because I help with my grandchildren. They're dropped off here in the mornings. I get them ready for school. I drop them off. These are my son's children. And immediately something came over me. It's like my spirit said, you know what you have to do. And I was like, no, they need me. I can't do that. They need me. This is me. I'm having a whole conversation with myself in my bedroom. And I'm like, no, they need me. I can't. And I immediately start to weep. I'm just boo hoo crying because I know that this is something that I have to do because it's time for me to start putting myself first.
Thank you.
Um,
That was a good pause. Okay. Now, maybe about 2 weeks or so ago, I did a live stream from Atlanta saying that true obedience is hard. True obedience is difficult. True obedience is embarrassing. And Sandra just told you very clearly that her grandchildren, right? And that's a different kind of love. I watch my mother loving my niece, and that's a different kind of love. My mom has said being a grandmother, it's like your heart gets bigger than you ever knew it could get. Like you loved your kids, but with your grandkids, it's bigger. Okay.
yes.
So here you have a grandmother who her grandchildren gets dropped off to her. She gets them ready in the morning. It's that grandmother's love of her grandchildren. And spirit, her spirit voice, whatever her relationship is, because we all have our own conversations with our own spirit and guiding hands, right? Said to her, you know what you got to do. And immediately, Sandra said her response was, I can't do that. They need me. I can't do that. They need me. How many of you have gotten instruction to do something and to do it would cut away? And I want Sandra to talk more about the feeling of that, would cut away at whatever feeling you get inside of your current reality that you don't want to break. She don't want to have to tell her grandson no, her daughter-in-law no, tell the grandkids no. That's difficult. This is one of the difficult decisions, one of many, that all of us are required to make on our path of true obedience, which is difficult. And we are sincere about living extraordinary lives, about being true to ourselves, about making sure we keep our resentment out of our bodies, out of our minds, so we don't have anger building up, blaming other people because we refuse to make that choice when Spirit told us, you know what you got to do. Because that's what a lot of women are running around here blaming men, blaming other people, when actually, baby girl, you got word 7 years. You was told not to even marry old boy. But you made a decision because I don't want to look single. I don't want to be alone because what's my value if I'm not with a man? And now look at you. 7 years later, mad at him and really mad at yourself because you weren't obedient. How many of you? Okay. So I just want to highlight that true obedience when you're living a life of desire, centering yourself so that you can be the grandmother that's truly happy. So you can be the wife, the mom, the woman who's truly happy. It is difficult. So Sandra, continue your story, please.
Okay. And so, after I cried a bit and struggled with it, that same voice said, after I said, they need me, that voice said, you need you. And I knew I had to do it. And so I picked up the phone, I texted my son and my daughter-in-law, and I simply said, hey, I'm not going to be able to help with the kids anymore. This is something that I have to do. I'm sorry, and I wish you the best. And from there, it was just a whole day of being stripped to the bare bones. As you know, when I spoke to you later on in the day, I was still going through it,
You were
At
in
that point,
tears.
once I was obedient, it was like God started to show me glimpses of the pain and the things that I had been going through. I almost felt as if he needed me to accept that challenge, put myself first so that he could start to do the work.
If you're ready to come alive and really be living in your true desire, happening Thursday at 10 a.m. Pacific. You can register right now with the link in my bio.